Hello, this is the Teen Bible Reads. This is chapter 1. I'm going to start with a reading from the beginning, the first part of Genesis, which is the creation story. Do you guys like to make things? Is there anyone who likes to draw or paint or create music? Is anyone who plays an instrument? Does anyone likes to um people who like to sew or create fashion? Do you like to make jewelry? How do you feel when you create something? Why are you creating? Are you creating just because you like to make it? Is there something you're good at? Do you like to um show it to people? Do you feel good at the end of it? Do you like to sell it? Usually, some people like to try to sell things. Are you like trying to sell it, trying to make money off of it? Do you make things and give it to charity? Do you feel good about it? Well, I'm gonna tell you, personally, I like to knit, and when I knit, it relaxes. All I think about is knitting, and it relaxes me, and I feel good about it, and I hope to possibly sell a few things. Um, I I have a kid and I knit sweaters. I used to knit sweaters for him when he was little. I haven't had time to do it now, but I still knit every once in a while, and it feels good. And when I look at it, I feel like I have accomplished something. I'm going to read to you the very beginning of Genesis, the creation story, and we're going to talk about what it is like to create something and how God probably feels when he creates something. So as I see here, this is the Bible I'm reading from. It is the Student Life Application Bible. This is a Bible that actually was given to me when I was like in high school from a Sunday school teacher. It's the New Living Translation. I believe that's the translation version of this Bible. It actually has stuff like on the side I might actually go through. And on the teen version of this video. I'm gonna, so I'm gonna read this as if I was reading to teenagers who are in Sunday school or a youth group. I'm gonna start. Later on, as I figure out new things, I might do some more fancy things. I might be able to post the pictures of the text or something to go in the background or something. But for right now, I'm just gonna read and then talk. So, we'll start with chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1. And the title, there's a title here. I'm going to keep reading until I figure out it's time to stop. The account of creation. So, I'm going to hold it here. Maybe I'll hold it here. Actually, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was empty, a formless mass cloaked in darkness, and the Spirit of God was hovering over its surface. So basically, in the beginning, obviously, there's nothing but God, and we don't know what the beginning is, other than it was a really, really long time ago. And because I was always told that, I don't know, it was kind of confusing to think about it, because I guess God just one day decided to say it's the beginning of time or whatever. So anyways, so there's absolutely nothing at all. And the Spirit of God was, okay, then God said, let there be light. And there was light, and God saw that it was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness night. Together these made up one day. So I I'm gonna stop here for a minute. So I was always had people try to say things like, well, the that God could have said, well, it was a day. We always say that God created everything in 6 days, and on the seventh day He rested. Some people say it was like 1,000 years or something like that for each day. I personally believe it was literally 24 hours because it says there was night, it was day, and then there was night. That's what it says there. So now you, in the comments, you can argue whether or not it was actually a day and a night. Um, anyways, or whether it was 1,000 years or whatever else other people say. And God said, let there be space between the waters, and separate water from water. And so it was. God made a space to separate the waters above the waters from the waters below, and God called the space sky. This happened on the second day. God said, let the waters beneath the sky be gathered into one place, so dry ground may appear. And so it was. God named the ground dry ground land, and the water seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let the land burst forth with every sort of grass and seed-bearing plants, and let there be trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. The seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they come. And so it was. The land was filled with seed-bearing plants and trees, and their seeds produced plants, the trees of like kind. And God saw that it was good. This all happened on the third day. And God said, let bright lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. They will be signs to mark the seasons, the days, and the years. Let the light shine down upon the earth. And so it was. For God made two great lights, the sun and the moon, to shine down upon the earth. The greater one, the sun, presides during the day. The lesser one, the moon, presides through the night. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the heavens to light the earth, to govern the day and the night, separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. This all happened on the fourth day. And God said, let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind. So God created these great sea creatures, and every sort of fish, and every kind of bird. And God saw that it was good. Now I'm going to stop here and talk to you very briefly about every time you read something that God has created, He said it was good. Now that is basically God pausing, saying He created something that was great and wonderful. When you create something, whether it be a piece of artwork, um, whatever other kind of stuff you guys create, whether you knit or you create jewelry or you write a story or whatever other kind of hobbies you guys have, you ever stop and think how good it is. Now, of course, since we're people, people make mistakes, and might if you write a story, well, if you're writing and you might press the backspace and start over, or if you're drawing with a pencil, a picture, you might erase it. Well, God didn't have to erase because God is a supreme and perfect and wonderful and everything like that. So every time He finished something, He said it was good. And if you ever stand outside, say you ever gone hiking somewhere, or you ever gone to the beach, and you just could stand and watch, say the sunset or sunrise over the beach, or over a mountain or a cliff or wherever it is you go to when you go, you ever stop and stare and just stare at it? That's probably how God felt when he would say it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, let the fish multiply and fill the oceans, let the birds increase and fill the earth. This all happened on the fifth day. God said, let the earth bring forth every kind of animal, livestock, small animals, wildlife, and so it was. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, and small animals, each able to reproduce more of its own kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make people. Well, there's asterisks. Hebrew man. Okay, so basically, in our image to be like ourselves. One thing I notice is that it says ourselves in our image. I was always kind of told that the Trinity that we know about as the Father and the Son and Holy Spirit has always existed. So that's basically saying what we know of as the Holy Spirit and Jesus was with God at the same time as God in the beginning. So that's probably what the us and the we is referring to. So it was not just like one person sitting there, it's a three thing. And there's a lot of confusion about what this three thing is. It is kind of confusing. Basically, some people might say, well, it's like a three-headed person. Some people might say, well, it's just three people. Some people might compare it to like a clover leaf with three leaves, or triangle with 3 points, or something like that. I mean, it's to be honest, I don't know. I just know that it's quite obvious that it's a three thing, a three being thing. And as we know that we find out more about later. Okay, I'll edit that part out. So God created people in his own image. God patterned them after himself. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them to multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. Be masters over the fish and birds and all the animals. God said, look, I have given you seed-bearing plants throughout the earth, and all the fruit trees for your food. And I have given you all the grasses and other green plants to the animals and birds for their food. And so it was. Then God looked over all he had made, and he saw that it was excellent in every way. This happened on the sixth day. So, from that we learned that basically God made everything a little bit each day until he got to the sixth day. And at the end of everything, he said that it was good. So, I'll stop here. Okay, now that we have read Genesis, the first part of Genesis, the creation story, what do you guys think? You can comment below some initial thoughts. You can pause the movie here and kind of just comment below. You in your comment, you start. This is the first comment you make. And then after you click the play button again to watch the rest of the video, we'll talk. Okay. So you have now made a comment. You can make another comment later about some other things. Think about how God feels when every time you read in Genesis, it says God said it was good. I have talked about in the reading, when I was reading the verse, the selection, well, I've talked about how um God, that when God said it is good, He stops and He thinks about what He has created. When you create something, in the beginning of the video, we have talked about all the stuff that you create. When you create something, you ever pause and think about, is it good? Is it bad? Do you want to start over? Do you think it needs to add, you need to add a little bit of this and a little bit of that? I sometimes probably, when I knit, knitting's pretty much straightforward. You follow the pattern and it usually turns out the way it's supposed to. If it doesn't, then you gotta have to go back and start over. Sometimes I might like drop a stitch or something. So that's usually how it works. We are people. We like I said in the reading, we're people. We might stop and try to fix something. God didn't have to, because He's God and He's perfect and everything. So you can think about, you comment below what kind of things you like to do. How do you think when you create something? You make a lot of mistakes, you have to start over. So you can kind of just think about it. It does, and how do you feel once you accomplished something that you have created? You can comment below about that. And, you stay tuned uh, to watch the next video. Hopefully, either next week or the week after. So this is the first time I have done this. So you can also comment below, let me know how I done, and you subscribe so you can see the next one that I will do. And hopefully, the next one will get better and better as we go along. I will talk to you next time.